Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Leopard! Leopard! Set! Green, 39!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And incomplete to open things up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go now.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
319! 319!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Got to be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move this.
But with intelligence catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get...
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender...
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Bills getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The numbers for Mixon last week. 19 carries, 62 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19.
To throw again. Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DJ Reader coming up the middle. Gets him there for a loss of about 9.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taken in at the 22. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Watson on third down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so They're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
No, check, Patriot, Patriot!
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down to Mixon on the check down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So a big 3rd down hookup here will take us to the break. 16-0 is our score, and we're back to upstate New York after this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Allen. It's caught. Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Set. Green, 39.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And his kick is indeed good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Down. Green, the line.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there, and it'll be second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and there's creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Out to the left there, complete to Howard. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Faking the give. Now Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook in a great... Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's a give to Mixon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 19 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing now is Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And now they'll throw with Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Caught on the right side by Jones. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have cut it to within a score.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Fuller. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Allen looks to throw on second down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And it's third and short.
One thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. On first down, Allen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Now let's go. 3-19.
A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Allen off the bootleg. On the crossing route, complete. It's Jones. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down is Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go.
Allen to throw once more. He sets the fire deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now running right through it. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead game speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Here's Watson now on second down. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 34. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his 100 yards now for the afternoon? And I tell you,
I'm short of